Hey everyone, I'm Odette Maimoni, and today I'm going to talk about tooltips in Power BI. You've probably seen them. You hover a visual, and suddenly extra data appears like a magic. But knowing how and when to use them can make the difference between helpful and confusing report. In this video, I'll walk you through what tooltips are, how to build your own custom one, and why sometimes it's better to leave them out entirely. Let's get started. Odette Maimoni. Okay, so I'm here in the Power BI desktop, and today I'm going to talk about tooltips. Tooltip is the feature that allows the user to hover with the mouse on the values in the visuals and see more data appears. Like that, when I'm hovering here on the data, I can see the value itself, but I can adjust it to be with extra more data that I want the user to be able to see, and I can make it very extra tooltip that will be with more visual, more data, make it more dynamic. So this tooltip is by default. You can see it. I didn't set anything here, but when I'm hovering with the mouse on the value, I can see the data of the x-axis and the value itself. If I want to add more data to the tooltip, I need to go here. You can see I have this tooltip area that I can drag measures, and this data will be shown in the tooltip. Let's see. If I want to drag the orders to the tooltip, when I'm hovering with the mouse, you can see also orders appear here. So this is very nice feature to allow the user to see more data without them to ask them to navigate to a separate page. So this is the way we can do it. Another thing that you should know about tooltips, there is a feature called modern tooltip that allow the user go through from the tooltip to drill through. If you didn't saw the video I record about drill through that explain what is it and how to set it up step by step, you should go and see it. It showed you right now in the screen. So drill through is a separate page that allows the user to see raw data. There is a feature called modern tooltip that allows the user navigate to the drill through from tooltip. How you can set it up, you go to File, Option and Setting, Options. Here, go to Preview Features and make sure this modern visual tooltips is checking. After you check this feature, you'll be able to see drill through coming in tooltip and how it goes. You doesn't have to do anything. Yeah, you just make sure to hover with your mouse enough time that the drill through is showing like that. If I'm hovering with my mouse, you can see I can go to drill through from tooltip, but it's showing after I'm waiting like second, I think, or even less, but you should wait because it doesn't show at the moment that you hover. It takes time to be showing. So remember, there is this feature from Tooltip. You can set it the drill through. Drill through, as I said, there is a separate tutorial about that. You should see it if you're interested to set drill through in your dashboard. Okay, so I explained how you can see the tooltip and how you can add more data in this feature in the tooltip. But how about if I want to design this pop-up, this tooltip to be more like I want it to be with different colors. So if I'm clicking on the specific visual and going here for the format your visual area. If I'm going to general, you can see this tooltip area that allow me to see and design how I want the text will be, how I want the background to be. So if I'm changing here the color of the background, you can see immediately the change appears in the tooltip. I can obviously change also the text itself, the font. It looks like that. You can also change the color of the drill text, so it be with different color. not exactly the good choice of a color, but you understand. So this is the way to design your default tooltip to be with the colors and fonts that you want. But how about the cases that I want to create different tooltip that will be with visuals and different style that the default tooltip let us set. So I created this tooltip. You can see that if I'm hovering on the bar chart, you can see more data about the specific color that I'm standing on with the cells over time. So this is nice. It allows the user to see more data and like see the big picture when they see the not just the value of the exact time of the color of the product, they can see what's going on over time. How I set this dynamic tooltip? Okay, let's start from scratch. If you like my content, this is your time to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Okay, so we start with creating separate page that will be the tooltip of the visual that you want to create. So this page could be hidden because it's going to be used only for tooltips. So you don't want the users to be able to click and see this page just like that, because it doesn't mean anything and only will bring more question and confusion. So this page will be the tooltip, and I'm going to give it the name for me to remember. This is tooltip. For this page to be tooltip, we have to go to the setting of this page like that, format your report page. This is the area. And in the page information, you should toggle on this setting, allow use as a tooltip. When I click on that, it automatically shrinks the page to be like this little square that could be tooltip, because tooltip in general should be minimized. But you obviously can change and set your page as the size that you want. You can go wild, you can minimize it even more, but just remember that you don't have to keep it. In my case, I leave it like that. So this is the tooltip screen, and I want to create here a visual that will show the sales over time that allow the user to see, as I showed you, when they hover on the color. So how I'm going to do it? I'm going to put here the line chart. I'm going to set the X to be with the month name, and my value of Y is the sales, because this is what I'm showing in the original visual, and I want it to be with the same measure, because otherwise it will be confusing to see, to hover on some visual and see other metric showing. It can be very confusing. For me, I don't like these titles, so I'm going to hide this one for X and for Y. Also, I don't need the title because it's going to be shown in Tooltip, and I don't need this title of the visual, but I will add the data label, so it will be easier to understand the data. And when I'm adding the data label, I can hide the Y values, so it will look like that. I also like to make the values of the data labels position above the line, so it will be much easier to read. Okay, so I don't have to filter anything here, because Tooltip automatically filtering the data based on the value that you are standing on. So if I'm standing on specific color on the visual, it automatically shows the data based on this color. So I don't have to set here anything for that. But I still want the title of the tooltip will be shown the color that they standing on, to make sure they understand the color they are standing on. How I'm going to do that? I created this measure. I called selected color, and it basically just take the selected value of the dim product color. And when I'm going to put it in the screen, like that, right now it just show blank, because there is no, it is not related to anything. But when I'm going to hover with my mouse on specific color, it will identify the selected color and will be shown here. I want to make it a bit bigger and change the font. Okay, it looks nice. Let's see. So right now, I think I'm fine with this tooltip, but I have to check how it looks like. So I'm going back to this page, but it doesn't automatically show in the tooltip. So I'm going to set it in the visual. I have to click on the visual, go to the format area, and then here in general, so here in the options, we can set the type of the tooltip. So right now it is set as default. So this is the default that you saw. But if I want it to be dynamic with the tooltip that we just created, we should change it to report page. And here it's shown you all of this, the page that you set as tooltip when we set it in the canvas page setting. So you can see I have the tooltip page that we just created. And when I'm going to hover the color, you can see also the values adjust as for the specific product color that I'm hovering on. And also the selected color is right because, as I told you, it knows to take the specific value that you are standing on. So it does the filtering automatically. You don't have to wonder how to do that. So this is very nice feature that you should know and maybe suggest for your customers to use. If you noticed that when I chose to use dynamic tooltip like that with the report page, it doesn't show in anymore the drill through option. So remember, if you using the drill through option inside the tooltip, and you wondering if you want to use the report page tooltip, so remember that it just ignore the drill through option when you use that. So keep in mind that. Okay, so after we learn how to set a tooltip in your page like that, default drill through, or design the default tooltip, or even to create dynamic one, we should talk about when to use tooltip, when it's better to avoid using tooltip. The whole point of your report is to be able to look and quickly understand things. If you making your user to make more steps in the report, like hovering or right click, going to another page, and not showing the data right away in the report, you are losing the whole point of your report. So if the data that you are choosing to show in Tooltip is important, you should think how you can make it inside your report and not as a tooltip. You have to think how you can insert it inside your page, because tooltip is just a nice to have more data that can help your user understand extra more things. But if it's that important, it shouldn't be as a tooltip. It should be as a visual inside your pages. So remember that, because all of the fine nice features is cool, but your main goal is to allow your user to quickly understand things that make decisions and make your reports more actionable. So tooltips is can be nice feature, but if the data is that important, it should be in the page that you can see immediately without hovering something. So remember that. So this was Tooltips in Power BI. Let me know if you have any questions and write me in the comments. I will answer you. Thank you. See you in my next video.